we've got Edgar Blazona with us. He's the owner, founder, and designer of a modern furniture company called TrueModern. Thank you for sitting down with us.
Thanks for having me.
I'm describing your business as an affordable and modern furniture company, but how do you describe it?
We describe ourselves as a modernist brand for the home. We try to be as affordable as possible. I've strived for affordability within the modern community for a long time. Modernism for a long time was really out of reach. So it's always been my kind of baby to create this modern brand that is still affordable yet still offering quality and just some cool products.
And how and when did TrueModern, the company, start? What is your background in design?
My background in design, I started designing right out of high school. I started doing a lot of custom furniture and I realized it could be a business. So I started a company I had a small line of products I sold through a variety of little stores and galleries and that sort of thing. And then I shut that business down and went to work for Pottery Barn to learn about mass manufacturing so that one day I could leave and start what has become TrueModern. I started that in about 2004, I think.
Wow, so you've been in the design world for a very long time, it sounds like.
Yeah, I think this is my 17th year, something like that.
So what is your creative process like? How does the design start in your head and then become a product for TrueModern?
I look at the marketplace day-to-day basis. It's really hard being a designer because we tend to look at everything and analyze everything. I'll be sitting at a restaurant table, and I can't even concentrate on the food. I'm too busy concentrating on the decor. I'm flipping chairs upside down to see how they're manufactured. Basically, we're out there, and I'm out here as a designer looking for things that maybe catch my eye, things that I haven't seen before, and I tend to bring those back to my studio and sketch them. And I have these magic moments sometimes where I see this collection in my eyes and in my head, and then I come back and work it out. And I might not have the capability of bringing that to market or providing it to my customers at the time, but it's still filed away as kind of that magic moment that collection one day will become a reality.
And I noticed that a lot of your pieces have similar themes or details that sort of connect to each other. Do you do that intentionally?
Well, a lot of it has to do with materials. You can only do so much with different materials. I like to keep, I'm not a designer who likes to reinvent the wheel every time, every season. I like to keep some consistency going throughout the pieces so that from year to year, those pieces can sit with each other and that the customer can kind of keep updating their collection of furniture, and all sits. And I find that I have a lot of repeat customers who are, excited to see these kind of small details running through from year to year.
So if someone describe or asks you to describe your style, what words do you use and how has your style evolved since you started?
Well, of course, I went through my early late 80s, early 90s, what was it called? High tech at the time. And everything was like diamond plate, steel, and black. And it was a real kind of this funny era in modernist American design. But my style is very influenced by mid-century modernism and American modernism. These days, I'm very much about, this American modernist look, which is, kind of people ask me. In fact, I had a meeting yesterday and someone said, what is the definition of modernism? I can't figure it out. There's contemporary and there's American modernism and there's, what I call European modernism, Italian modernism, that sort of thing. And as Americans, we very much have a specific style of what that kind of modernist look is. And I would say that that's pretty much American modernism by the way we use our materials, by the way we use our colors, that sort of thing.
So TrueModern produces baby furniture, kid furniture, now some adult furniture. You mentioned some bedding. What's the funnest thing to work on, or is it all fun?
It is all fun. We're just in the middle of adding a bunch more sofas to our line. And I don't know if there's one's more fun than the other, but some things are more challenging than the others. And I'm finding that my kind of exploration into the sofa world is very challenging. It seems that there's not a lot that can be done with the sofa. A sofa has to do very specific things, and there's very standard shapes and sizes, and so I'm really trying to push the envelope a little bit with my sofas, yet still keeping them affordable, which is a real challenge.
As we've mentioned, affordability is very important to your designs and your company, and keeping things affordable can't be easy. What are some of the ways in which, you're able to run a successful business but still keep furniture accessible to more people?
I mean, that is a very, very complicated question, and we struggle with that a lot. I import furniture from overseas. That helps keep the cost down. One of the comments that we've had in the past is, well, you're importing, and you need to have that done, these products made here in the US. Well, here in the US, that's very, very expensive. We agree with that as well. And so one of the things that we did was offer sofas made here in the US. We've got another collection coming out from here in the US. But these pieces might be a little bit more expensive than we can get from overseas. So we try to put money back into the piece. We try to have as small as margins as possible. Really, just constantly try to renegotiate, negotiate, negotiate. It's a never-ending process.
You mentioned earlier how, as a designer, you go in everywhere and you're always kind of looking at how things are designed. Do you do that with other designers' work in the design world? Do you have current obsessions with any architects or designers out there right now?
Yeah, I do. As far as architects go, Neutra, his clean and simple and smooth lines are wonderful to me. Donald Judd, who was a minimalist furniture maker as well as sculptor and painter. I mean, I guess he did some writings too. I'm very influenced by him. I like to look at there's another group. I think they're called Max Studios. They're doing some interesting stuff. I don't know if I'm obsessed with anybody at the moment, but I definitely am. I keep my eye on things and I watch to see what others are doing. It's fun. It's a real interesting time in modernism, and I should say, modernism it's been my passion for the last 20 years. I have watched modernism kind of grow and grow and grow. When I first started modernism, there was a market share of 3%. I mean, what a horrible business model to get into a market share of 3%. And these days, it's grown quite a bit. It's still not, this huge business, but it's certainly grown. And you're starting to see modernism everywhere. And IKEA and Apple and Blue Dot, Target, those are all companies that are really have helped kind of grow this modernist look, and it's great to see. And it's finally here. You're seeing it in TV, you're seeing it in commercials, movies. Modernism is everywhere.
Well, as if TrueModern doesn't take up enough of your time, you're also behind the company which make prefabricated homes, correct?
Yeah, Modular Dwellings was a company that I started while I was designing for Pottery Barn. I had to have modernism in my life. I created the company to explore the kind of architectural side of modernism. And I realized while living in San Francisco, I realized that, I had all these cool, like modern pieces of furniture in this Victorian. And I didn't have the opportunity to have a modernist house through and through. Couldn't afford to build a giant house, imagine that. I didn't want to see my pieces of furniture up against, this beautiful Victorian crown molding. So I started building these structures, these backyard structures, so that I had a place for my entire life to be modern. And I realized that there was other people out there who kind of had the same ideals. And that was kind of in the time of the prefab boom, and so as everyone was striving to create these homes at this real affordable price, I didn't have the means to put into developing the home. So I started, developing and putting these structures out there, and we had a lot of fun with it. I wasn't able to hit the price points that I had hoped, and that I had hoped we could establish, kind of in the per square footage marketplace. But in the end, I ended up designing a plan set for Ready Made magazine. Put these plans out and sold them for $35 a set, and I think I make like $1 or something on each plan set. But it was really my way of giving back to the community to say, okay, I couldn't hit your per square footage price on a full building, but here's a set of plans so you too can have a modernist structure in your backyard. And to date, we've sold almost 3,000, and we're trying to track them kind of throughout the country as they're being built, and we're starting to showcase them, in fact, on the modular dwelling blog site. So we're having a lot of fun with it.
You mentioned you guys are getting into doing more sofas at TrueModern, but what else is on the horizon for you guys? Any cool projects coming up?
Yeah, absolutely. We're designing some more adult products as well as the new kids collection. Then these sofas. We're really trying to maybe have 8 total sofa collections. So we're striving to get these products out there as quickly as possible. But we're excited to launch these new products, and hopefully people will be too.
Well, thank you very much for speaking with us. It was very, very interesting and informative.
You're welcome. You're welcome, for sure.
Be sure to visit TrueModern.com for more information about Edgar Blazona and his awesomely designed kid and adult modern furniture. You've been listening to a TrueModern designer interview. For more fun podcasts, inspiring design posts, and design advice, check out the blog at TrueModern.com.